Chapter 1. The Village and the Man. In the quiet village of Maplewood, nestled between gentle hills and fields of gold, there lived a man named Thomas. He was a farmer, strong in hands but soft in heart. Everyone in the village knew Thomas, not because he was rich or powerful, but because he was kind. Thomas woke up every day before the sun. He worked in the fields, tended to the animals, and made sure his neighbors were never without help. When someone's roof leaked, he was there with his ladder. When someone's crops failed, he shared from his own barn. But above all, Thomas was known for being a loving father to his only son, Daniel. Daniel's mother had passed away when he was just 3 years old. Since then, it had been just the two of them. Thomas raised Daniel with stories, songs, and silent strength. He never shouted, never raised a hand. Instead, he taught by example, always choosing kindness, even when life was unfair. One cold winter, Thomas gave away the last of their firewood to an elderly neighbor. That night, he and Daniel slept under extra blankets and warmed their hands with love. "Why did we give it away, Papa?" Daniel had asked. "Because she needed it more than we did," Thomas replied. Chapter 2. Growing Up. As Daniel grew older, he began to notice the sacrifices his father made. While other children had toys, he had stories and wooden animals carved by Thomas's careful hands. While other families went to the city for fun, he and his father explored the woods and fished by the river. He didn't mind. He loved the way his father laughed when he slipped in the mud, how he fixed things with patience, and how he always found time to listen. When Daniel turned 10, he began helping more on the farm. He fed the chickens, learned to plant seeds, and listened to the wind, just like his father had taught him. "The wind carries secrets," Thomas would say, "and it always whispers the truth." One afternoon, a storm came while they were in the fields. The sky turned dark, and the wind howled. Daniel was afraid. Thomas knelt beside him, sheltering him with his coat. "It's just the world speaking loudly," he said. "But remember, after every storm, the earth breathes again." When the storm passed, a rainbow stretched across the sky. Daniel looked up at his father and smiled. "You were right." Thomas winked. "The world always keeps its promise." Chapter 3. The Choice. Years passed, and Daniel became a bright, thoughtful teenager. One day, he came home from school with a serious face. "Papa," he said, "there's a chance for me to study in the city. A teacher told me I have talent." Thomas looked at his son. His heart swelled with pride and worry. "The city is far," he said quietly. "I know, but I want to learn more. I want to help people like you help people here." Thomas nodded slowly. That night, he sat by the fire and thought deeply. He didn't sleep much. In the morning, he made his decision. "If this is your path, we will walk it together. I'll find a way to support you. But promise me something." "Anything, Papa." "Promise me you'll never forget who you are or where you come from." Daniel hugged his father. "I promise." And so the journey began, not just for Daniel, but for both of them. Chapter 4. A Father's Promise. Autumn came with golden leaves, cool winds, and quiet evenings. Daniel was now 16. His mind was sharp and curious. Every spare moment he had, he read books under the old oak tree. Thomas watched him with quiet pride. He saw in his son the dreams he once had, but had put aside to raise him. One evening, after dinner, Daniel sat across the table, his hands fidgeting. "Papa," he began softly, "I want to go to the city. I want to study more. I want to be a teacher." Thomas looked at his son for a long time, his heart filled with emotion, pride, love, and a quiet ache. "That's a good dream," he said slowly. "But the city's expensive and dangerous. You'll be alone." "I know," said Daniel, "but I want to make a difference. I want to help children, like you helped me." Thomas stood and walked to the small wooden box he kept under his bed. Inside were coins saved over many years, a few old letters, and his wife's necklace. He handed the box to Daniel. "It's not much, but it's yours. I've been saving for this day." The next week, Thomas sold a piece of land and one of their 2 cows. With the money, he paid for Daniel's school fees and travel. He packed his son's bag with clothes, dried food, and a notebook he had made himself. "I wrote something inside for you," he said. Daniel opened it. On the first page was written, "Be kind, be honest, be brave, and always come home." On the day of departure, the entire village came to say goodbye. Daniel hugged his father tightly. "I'll make you proud, Papa." "You already have," he whispered. "Now go make the world a little better." Chapter 5. City Life. The city was unlike anything Daniel had ever seen. Tall buildings cast long shadows, and the streets were crowded with people speaking quickly and moving fast. The air smelled of smoke and fresh bread, of horses and machines. Daniel lived in a small room above a bakery. He studied during the day and worked at night, sweeping floors and delivering bread. Life was not easy, but he never complained. He remembered his father's lessons: work hard, be kind, and help when you can. At the academy, Daniel met students from many places. Most of them were wealthier, but Daniel's intelligence and humility earned him respect. He always shared what little he had. One day, a classmate named Clara sat quietly in the corner, staring at her empty desk. Daniel approached. "Are you okay?" he asked. She shook her head. "My father lost his job. I can't afford the new books." Without a word, Daniel reached into his bag and handed her his extra set. "Use these. I've already read them." Clara looked at him with surprise. "Why are you doing this?" "Because someone once did it for me," Daniel said. That night, he wrote to his father, "Dear Papa, I helped someone today because of you. You live in me, in every good thing I do." Chapter 6. A Letter from Home. The seasons changed. Letters traveled back and forth between Maplewood and the city. Thomas's handwriting was slow but steady. "Dear son, the field is quiet without you. I still wake up early and look toward the road, imagining you walking home. The chickens are healthy. The cow misses you, or maybe I do. I built the new fence last week. The neighbor's boy helped. He reminds me of you at his age. The village misses your laughter, but I know you're doing good things. Keep going, and remember, no matter how far you go, you carry home in your heart. Love, Papa." Daniel kept every letter under his pillow. On hard days, he read them and found strength. Chapter 7. The Return. After 4 years, Daniel completed his studies. He returned to Maplewood by train, carrying a suitcase filled with books and dreams. As he stepped off the platform, he saw Thomas waiting by the old oak tree. His father's hair was now fully gray, and his steps slower, but his smile was the same. "Welcome home, my son." "I've missed this place," Daniel said. They walked through the village, talking late into the evening. Daniel shared stories of the city, the children he had taught during his final year, and his hope to open a school in Maplewood. Thomas placed a hand on his son's shoulder. "Then let's begin tomorrow." Together, with the help of neighbors and friends, they built a small schoolhouse beside the river. It had only one room, but it was filled with light and warmth. Chapter 8. A Lesson for Life. The school grew. Children from nearby villages came to learn. Daniel taught them not only letters and numbers, but also stories of bravery, honesty, and kindness. One day, a young boy named Peter raised his hand. "Teacher, who is your hero?" Daniel walked to the window and looked out toward the fields where his father was tending to a fence. "My hero is my father. He gave me everything without asking for anything else. He taught me to be strong, not with fists, but with kindness." Peter smiled. "I want to be like him." Daniel knelt beside the boy. "Then start by helping others, by listening, and by being honest, even when it's hard. That's how heroes are made." And so Thomas's legacy lived on, not in statues or riches, but in the hearts of children, the wisdom of his son, and the quiet goodness that spread through the village like sunlight after a storm. Thanks for watching. Take action today, not tomorrow. Press subscribe and let's keep learning together. You're doing great. See you in the next one. Stay strong.